What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today I'm going to be going over how you're going to get a free shiny Munchlax from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's Teal Mask, Ogre Oustin. It's weird because whenever I speak to someone who speaks as Spanish as their first language, that's my name, Oustin. And this is the Munchlax that you can, in theory, get from doing this event. It is always going to be a shiny Munchlax. It's going to have Lick Tackle, it's going to have its hitting ability Gluttony, and it's going to have the Crafty mark. It's going to be labeled as you got it at Cagelocke Hall. It was level 1, it is still level 1, so it's Munchlax the Opportunist, which is very fitting. And the Ogre Oustin is located here at Cagelocke Hall. After you do it the one time during the festival, it's going to be labeled as a fast travel point for you later on. I want to let you know a few things before you get into this. Your first time doing this during the festival, that's a very specific instance, and you probably failed. I failed. Every person that I've spoke to failed it during that festival. I think it's kind of set up that way because they put you on the normal course, not the easy course. The easy course helps you really get a flow of things. Now you can very easily beat easy difficulty all on your own. To complete normal, you may need a second person, and to complete hard, you may need a team of 3 or 4 people. I was able to do it with a team of 4 people with a strategy I'm about to tell you now that may actually really help you out. But first, let's go over the basics on how you're actually going to be completing this. The first thing to know is there are many maps that you can actually be brought to in order for you to do this. Some of the maps are horrible and some are amazing. They actually started me on the best map. We were able to beat hard mode all 10 levels with this map. It has to do with the middle of this as well as the collection of balloons. In these early rounds, you have no rush at all. You can do all of this in minutes. So all you have to do is make sure that you have 2 blue balloons, make sure that you have 4 green balloons, 2 red balloons, and 2 black balloons. The reason that I'm just grabbing this required amount and nothing else is because if you're playing solo, you're eventually going to get to the point that you have to have a full 30 balloons. And if you look at the top right corner, that spiral over there, that's how many balloons you can hold at once, which is 30. All you need to do is come over here, deposit it inside of the containers, and you're done. And now that this round is cleared, you're actually allowed to move between the rounds. So I'm going to highly recommend that you make your way as far away from the goal as possible so that you can streamline your collection of these balloons. I know that I need 6 green, I have them already. I need 4 blue, they are right here. We're gonna need a total of 5 black, and lastly is going to be the last 3 red that I need. Now I know that I just started and I have all the balloons that I need. I go and head to the goal. If at this time you want to go ahead and pop additional balloons, you get 1 final point at the end of all the rounds for each additional balloon that you pop. For each balloon that you put inside of these containers, you get 5 points, and the faster you do it, you get more bonus points. So you should probably never just pop extra balloons for fun. Instead, you're much better off depositing them. Now, the third aspect has to do with the Pokemon who are going to try to eat all of the balloons, berries, whatever it is that you're putting in them. I think they're berries. You're getting berries from these, right? Yeah, there we go. A greedy Greedent appeared. Somewhere around the perimeter of your bean posts, you're going to be seeing Pokemon spawning in. There he is. And you can choose to scare him away while he's far away, or when you're directly in the middle, in this one course specifically, you will scare away all 4 of these Pokemon at once. However, if you don't deposit any berries inside of your pedestals, then you have nothing to worry about because they're not going to be able to eat no berries. So you could avoid that whole issue when you're playing single player altogether, especially in these early rounds. Because you really don't want to get into a situation like this that you're just missing 1 berry and now you have to leave all of them unattended. And that's where the core advantage of starting every round very far away from the goal actually really helps out. Because if you do need additional berries, you could just do it with the close ones. After you complete the easy difficulty, you're going to want to go back into the main overworld, and then you're going to be getting a notification that you've unlocked normal difficulty. You're going to be getting the rewards for it. It gets really difficult when you're doing single player and you have to go around and make sure that they're not eating your berries, and anytime that you need to have 30 or more, that's when it's really, really rough. Oh, I got a big bamboo shoot. That's neat. And experience candy, pretty feathers. So last night, I was actually able to play with some friends, and we were able to completely finish this on the hardest difficulty. And there are some tricks and some strategies that I want to share with you guys. I completed this with Anubis and Matt and Wanjo, who I believe he was one of the guys who helped me with the Mewtwo video. Anyways, the course that you are on matters so much. There was that course that I just showed you a little snippet of, and this course is one of the worst. This one and the Apple Orchard are so difficult to navigate, you definitely don't want to try it whatsoever. The balloons are too spread out, it's a whole mess. Do not try it. This course, however, that I was showing you before, this is the best course. And the number one piece of advice that I have is all of the players are just going to pick their own direction. At the very beginning, everyone picks a color, go, find your course. You're not going to get this on the first route. To be honest with you, stage 4 is the first time you're actually going to need strategy. So all of the players start at a very specific location, far away. You find a path, and your path ends with you being at the bean counter with a total of 30 berries. I did this path right here. You can see the balloons popping in the background. That's another one of my teammates. We have someone at the top of the hill on the left, someone at the top of the hill on the right. You get your full 30 berries, and then once you're done with all your berries, you just make your way back to the middle. Now what we did is, the first person who was back there, they just constantly stayed in the middle and hit the R button. That allowed them to scare away if there's any Pokemon who are going to try to eat our berries. See how they just stay directly in the middle? As soon as the Greedents get really, really close, the Munchlax, the Squovit, they are immediately scared away before they can touch the bean table to actually start eating them. So as long as you have one person in the middle constantly barking at them, you're going to win. And then the other 3 players just go out, grab the random beans that they need, and make their way back. So if you're playing online and you don't have voice chat, the very first person just goes to the middle and they start barking it away, and then everyone else can go around and go get more. Or one dedicated person, whatever you want to do, whatever flows nicely for you. Now, as toxic as it is, we would be on a course and we didn't like the course and we would just stay there. If you're matching with randos online, they're going to be really upset on why you're not actually doing anything. Stage 9 is when we started to get really, really sweaty, but we also had a really solid pattern on how we went around, got our exact 30 balloons to make sure that there was no slack.
Oh, you mean do the same thing that we always do?
Yes, past Austin, that's what we're doing again. Now, previously, we tried a strategy with focusing on one specific color, and honestly, we were just too scattered on exactly what we wanted to do with the berries. So we just did this strategy of optimizing our routes, and then using voice chat, we were able to see what was needed more. Honestly, I don't know how you're gonna be able to do it without some sort of voice chat, because while we were driving around and I'm heading to the back over here, I know that I need blues, but my teammate who's going and also grabbing more blues, they're telling me how many they have, and we're doing that quick maths while we're going through and while we're playing. The most powerful thing is having that one teammate in the middle constantly barking. You can just go, grab a coffee or whatever you want. You're not really worried about anything. And as long as they're never able to take the berries out, that one player sacrificing all of their time doing that is well worth it. So here's the end of my second round, and we realize that we just need some more blues, and then we all head out for a third run. And the third run is always a very short one because, honestly, you don't have that much time at that point. You're usually about 30 or 40 seconds left. My job here was to go out and get the remaining reds and greens, and everyone else went out to go get the rest of the blues. But they happened to come across some reds on the way, so they just deposit them.
Wait, that wasn't the gold. Oh no.
This was our first time reaching level 10, which we didn't know there was a level 10. And you need, what is this, a total of 200 berries? And honestly, it's just the exact same pattern again. All you have to do is just go through, make sure you get your 30, make sure your teammates have their own path that's good to go. Make sure one person remains in the middle, constantly scaring away all of the Pokemon who are going to try to eat the berries. Because once you're on level 10, after you put that first berry in, a Snorlax is going to be coming by. And rather than everyone waste their time with scaring away Snorlax like I just did, instead you just have that one person in the middle dedicated to scaring them away. because Snorlax is going to eat your berries very, very quickly. If you look at the danger meter on the right, you're going to see how it's constantly going up and down, and the Pokemon are spawning in. They're slowly making their way on over, and then once they make their way on over, they're immediately scared away. You'll see right here, I didn't have a really optimized route because I wasn't heading toward the bean tables with the beans as they were filling up. Instead, I was dilly-dallying around the south too much. So now we know that all we need is 0363. And all the balloons, they respawn around you, and they're kind of there to help you out with exactly which ones that you need. Everyone's heading back at the same time because we know it's time to put in the last tier of berries. We did the maths in our head, and we know that we had everything, and boom. And then you get a great group photo of your whole team. And their full efforts to actually do this properly. Now, unfortunately, that's all the advice that I have for you. It's the strategy that we used. It's the fact that there were 4 of us in voice chat, the fact that we had a favorable map and that we kept resetting for a good map, and the fact that all 4 of us have Nintendo Switch Online to actually be able to do this online unless you have 4 people locally. Which, you know, the only thing harder than paying $20 a year is having 3 real-life friends with a copy of the game. That's what I learned. Those are my tips on how you can do Ogre Ousting, complete the hard mode. When I say that you cannot do hard mode on your own, I'm not talking about you specifically, person watching this video. I'm talking about 99.99% of people who are watching this video. You might be able to do it on your own, the same way that one Japanese player took down Mewtwo on his own, and I spent an entire day trying to get the right RNG to line things up, and it just wasn't happening. This is rough, but if you have some friends and voice chat in Discord or whatever, we actually had a lot of fun, and we had no idea that we would get this much fun from a mini game in the DLC of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. In fact, last night playing and doing Ogre Ousting was one of the highlights of my time playing this game. Guys, I hope my tips and advice on how you can beat Ogre Ousting in a group is definitely going to help you out. If it did, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.
Man, they see me shining like I got the charm. Stay strapped, got that jet ball in my palm. Fell from the sky, guess I'm the chosen one. And if you need to know how, check out Austin John. Champion flow, yeah, I got that champion flow.